Hi, my name is Rush Krosix. Today we're going to be talking about some of the basic commands that you're going to be doing while you are in a fleet. So first off, before we want to set you up, make sure on the right-hand side, top right, which you can see over here, is going to be your overview. Everybody's going to have different overviews. Yours does not exactly have to match mine, but I would recommend asking either in rookie help or asking one of your corp members about getting an overview. One of the big ones that are used is the Sarah Shawa one. Other places, other alliances have specific ones they recommend. We're not going to get too in detail into that for now, but just understand your overview is going to be able to dictate what you see, and it's going to determine what kind of fleet. So, for example, fleet, this would be one I would probably use for Logi. So if I'm trying to be a support role, enemies, obviously something for DPS. Again, we're not going to go too far into that. We're going to talk about the basic commands that you're going to be dealing with. So at the top, you're going to see me already have this guy highlighted on your fleet window at the bottom left here as well. It's going to have his name. Aurelian is going to be the guy. He is my fleet commander. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click his name, go to fleet, add to watch list. Now, why am I adding to watch list? The biggest reason is there's a lot of commands you're going to be doing, such as anchoring, orbiting, keeping at range, yada yada, with the fleet commander. He is we'll say, the kingpin of this whole fleet. He's the focused center person you need to be on. So, top right, that little box that came up, it'll say select item, or it'll have watch list. That watch list is usually for people who are very important, whether you're Logi, whether it's the initial FC, secondary, tertiary, whatever. So what I want to do is, let's say I want to get right on top of them. Let's say I'm joining a fleet, they're already out in space. I'm going to right click warp to member. Now you have to be, I believe, 150k or more farther away to be able to warp to him. So I warped onto him right now. He's currently in motion. Now, when they say anchor, the most common way to anchor is you're going to right click, keep at range 1,000, right? Now, if you're, see how I'm kind of about 7,000 plus far away from him, I might want to do one prop mod burst, which is the module I just utilized right there. That's going to catch me up. I really only want to do it once to catch up to him. After that, I want to make sure I have that distance, because if you keep bumping him, we can screw up alignments, things to that nature. So today, again, we're only going to talk about how to interact with the FC with anchoring. So this is the most common one. The most common one is 1,000 away, right? There's also different commands that the FC might give you for anchoring. One might be to orbit at a certain range. The reason why you would do something along these lines is if there's bombs incoming, or if they need to spread you out for some kind of damage reason, which happens a lot. See how I'm kind of losing distance on him again? I'm going to do another prop mod. It's mainly because we're in different ships. We're not really going to go over that too much, but that's how you would catch up. You just kind of use it once. That allows you to keep your cap, which is the middle center circle in there, going properly. Now, let's say he says to align to something. What he's going to do is he's going to broadcast onto the overview, which can be up here. We'll be able to see it when he broadcasts. He's going to tell us to broadcast. He's going to broadcast and say align to blah, right? So go ahead and broadcast where you want us to align to on the overview, and we're going to see it pop up. All right, so he hasn't clicked it, so I'm guessing he can't hear me. So what he might say is align to this Rataru, right? So what they're going to do normally is they're going to click broadcast align to. There's also other shortcuts. So if that were to happen, you would double click, and if you double click, notice at the bottom it says aligning to this, aligning to that, aligning to these. Wherever you're going to align to, that'll pop up. Now, if let's say the command is given and, hey, I don't exactly know where he found it, click fleet. From fleet, go to history, and it'll pop up the last area he decided to align to. So let's say, like, for this one, he said align to that Bifrost research facility. That's where he wanted us to go. Initially as well, while you're in the fleet, we're going to go back onto him, keep at range 1,000. We're going to get our burst real quick to catch up to him. Another thing we're going to be doing is making sure all of our stuff is proper. Now you see the mid slots, low slots. Usually you're not going to mess around with them too much as long as you have them equipped. But the top, sometimes you're going to get a ship that has all your guns spread out like this, right? Before you load them with ammo, if you've already left, you want to group them if you can. Keep in mind, each one has to be named the same exact one. If you have 150 millimeter railgun 1 and 2, they won't be able to group together. But if you have them all together, they'll be able to group. And then from there, you're going to go into your inventory, and then you're going to figure out what ammunition. The FCs will tell you load Navy Iridium, or load Spike, or load Javelin, whatever it's going to be. And then you'll load it. If your guns are grouped, it'll do it to all of them. Here's the reason why. You want to focus your damage on one target. When you get into a big fight, you want to make sure you're hitting just one target only. No more, no less. So let's say you guys fight him, tells you to reload. You're just going to click that, and you're going to drag it again. It takes about 5-10 seconds depending on the guns. It could be different in different situations, but for the most part, that's it. The mid slots, again, there are some mid slots that are going to have something to increase them, like scan resolution. I can click and drag that, and now I have a specific add-on, we'll call it, to help with increasing the ability that it has, or focusing on the ability I want it to do. So there we go. We got one for you. Either way, this is kind of the basic commands you're going to deal with. Aligning, jumping, which would be this, which, you know, when you get to a gate, you jump through. We'll go over that in more of a video, but from what we've gone over right now, kind of the basic commands of how to work with an FC. Thank you.